Tensions ran high today in the heart of the city, where demonstrators gathered to express sharply opposing views on the UK's ongoing refugee and asylum policies. Crowds filled the streets as pro-refugee campaigners and counter-protesters faced off, separated by police presence and ideological divides. The rally began with chants of solidarity and welcome echoing through the air. Protesters raised their voices and placards, repeating phrases such as, "Refugees are welcome here," and "We stand united." For many of them, this was not just a slogan, it was a heartfelt plea for compassion and justice. One demonstrator, visibly emotional, spoke of their commitment to equality and social cohesion.
I'm here today because I stand for a society of equality and treating people well, and I want to see things improve. I'm intensely depressed about the divisions that are being made by people like those extreme.
I'm here today because I believe in a society where people are treated fairly, regardless of where they come from. What's happening in this country, the rise in division, the scapegoating of vulnerable people, it's heartbreaking. They criticized what they described as a deliberate campaign by far-right groups to blame migrants and refugees for economic hardship. The reality is that wealth is becoming more and more concentrated in the hands of the few. People at the bottom of our society, and those fleeing war, poverty, and climate collapse abroad, are struggling to survive. Refugees are not the enemy. Inequality is. Across the street, voices of dissent rang out. Counter-protesters waved British flags and voiced deep frustrations with government policy and social priorities. One man, a veteran, expressed outrage that thousands of former servicemen remain homeless, while, in his view, refugees are receiving state support. "We've got over 12,000 ex-servicemen sleeping rough," he said. "And yet, people who aren't even from this country are being put in hotels and given housing. It's not right. I'm not racist. I've lived alongside all kinds of people my whole life. But I think it's morally wrong."
I'm not racist in any way, shape or form, but I just think it's morally wrong.
He went on to say that figures like Nigel Farage speak on issues others are too afraid to address. He says what people think, but won't say out loud. That's why he's got support. People are fed up. Another counter-protester, a woman from East London, said she no longer felt safe in her own neighborhood. "I've always grown up in a multicultural area, no problem. But now, this is different. People are walking around with no documents, no background checks. We don't even know who they are. I've got kids, this worries me." She expressed fear and anger, saying she and her friends were genuinely scared. Her criticism was directed not just at refugees, but at political leaders. "I think some of them should be done for treason, honestly.
Honestly, in my opinion, should be done for treason.
They've let us down." Some went further, expressing conspiracy-driven claims and vulgar insults toward protesters and journalists. One individual had to be restrained after a verbal altercation, while police maintained a visible presence to prevent escalation. Amid the shouting, another group of demonstrators shared personal experiences. A man who identified as a former rough sleeper said he had spent over 2 years living on the streets without any meaningful help from the state. "Everything I've done off my own back. No one helped me. I'm not saying people fleeing war don't need help, but what about us? What about British people suffering right here, right now?" Children and families were present on both sides of the demonstration. Chants continued, "Whose streets? Our streets, and under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back." Emotions ran from hopeful to hostile. The atmosphere swung between unity and division, highlighting the deep fault lines in the national conversation about immigration, borders, and social justice. Despite the tension, many participants said they were there to peacefully express their views. "This is democracy," one woman said. "We might not agree, but we have to listen. Everyone's here for a reason, and that reason, fear, hope, anger, it all comes from somewhere." As the event came to a close, both camps remained defiant. The debate over the UK's refugee policy continues to stir passionate and painful questions about identity, belonging, responsibility, and who gets to call Britain home.